Hey guys, it's your buddy, your pal. It is the IT Collector, and today is a special review on the latest um, line of Star Wars, which is the Micro Galaxy Squadron. And specifically, we're going to be doing this review on the Millennium Falcon that has come out on this new line. This is Series 1, and I have a couple of other ships here. So you can see that it's gonna, if it's Series 1, they're gonna come out with further series. This is mainly to get you hooked. But one thing I want to mention right off the bat is that one of the previous similar, very popular lines of ships and vehicles was called Star Wars Action Fleet. And that was made by Galoob or Hasbro. I think Galoob originally, and I don't know if Hasbro took it over. But if you're interested in comparing those, I'm going to show you a little bit how they were before. As you can see, there's a size difference on scale. But I'll get into that in a little bit more detail. As for right now, if you want to see my collection of Action Fleet, one of my favorite collections, just click on the link above. Let's see if that worked, and check it out. It's a pretty good video regarding the whole collection, and it's an awesome collection. These vehicles are well made and great for display, and obviously they don't take up too much space. But before I go further, I want to talk about in depth a little bit more about the Millennium Falcon specifically, and how it came out in this box. Regarding the box, it's this version of the Millennium Falcon is electronic, so it does need batteries. It doesn't come with them, but once I unbox it, I'll show you where they go, and we'll check out the lights and sounds, what kind of features it has. So that's one of the things that says here on top, the lights and sounds features. The background, I'll show you when I open it, has a little kind of artwork in the back, so that's kind of cool, of like a space fight, I guess. And there's the side and the back. So the back, as I mentioned before, you have the other line on the bottom of Series 1, and they actually end up putting it into different classes. So for example, they have, this is part of the Assault class. They have the Transport class, what is this? The Starship class, that's where you have Slave 1, or whatever the new name of Boba Fett's ship is, along with the Mandalorian ship. And then you have the light armored, and also, let me see what this one is called, Starfighter. And that's the X-Wing fighter, Darth Vader ship, and Obi-Wan ship, which I have all of them right here. So also on the back, there's this little card that I guess if you want to collect it, or people or kids maybe would cut them out. It just shows a little bit of graphic of the Millennium Falcon. And also up here it shows the lights, features, where the buttons are. It tells you that the cockpit opens 90 degrees, and yeah, just little bonuses like that where it shows you the effects. One other thing before we open this guy up, it does come with a couple of accessories and 4 characters. So since this is the original trilogy Millennium Falcon, it comes with the radar, which is round, not as opposed to the square one from like Phantom Menace, or the later series. And then it also comes with the turret, which has the 4-barrel turret that you can attach also as well. And lastly, the 4 characters, if you look at them there, right here, it is Han Solo, Princess Leia, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Chewbacca. Right off the bat, between Action Fleet and this new series, the characters, the little figures, have a little bit more detail or a better paint job on this series as opposed to this one. We can compare the size once I open it up. But as for right now, let's open it up and let's take a closer look. Let's take a closer look. I already took it out of the box, but one thing I wanted to show you real quick was the artwork that they have in the box. So that's kind of cool. It's the battle scene or attack scene in space. But back to the actual Millennium Falcon itself. So let's take a closer look. I think it is an excellent scale. So the first things I want to talk about is the scale from the previous line Action Fleet versus this Micro's Galaxy Squadron. This one is I thought was an excellent scale and everything. The only problem is they made one size all the same. So the X-Wing is the same size as the Millennium Falcon. Obviously not with this new line. They actually did it a little to scale, which is pretty darn cool. Because this is about 9 inches and this is what, maybe 6 inches, somewhere around there. So a lot better on that front. So first things first, again, let me open up this compartment here. It's barely unboxing it, so I'm not sure the easiest way to do that, but I guess it's from the front. And so that opens up, so you can see the detail in here. You have your Jarek table. You have the gunner that goes in here. I haven't attached the turret yet, but it goes 360. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And then this piece just came out, which is pretty cool that they added this compartment here to hide stowaways or smuggle some goods. As you know, this is a smuggling ship. So that's kind of cool that they added that. I'll put that down for now. So you can see the little bit of details on other compartments and stuff. If you're going to play with this thing, you have some room to roam around. And like I mentioned, the turret, you can put a guy in there. So that's pretty cool. The landing platform does go down. Does seem a little... I don't want to break it. I don't know if it goes further than that, but I'm being very gentle with it. So that's that. We'll leave that there. And then also this opens up about 90 degrees. And what's cool about this is it has 4 seats. So for all 4 passengers, as opposed to the Action Fleet that only holds 1 person. So here's Han Solo. And it basically just holds him in that. So that's not very accurate. Not that these are, you know, exact model kits or anything, but, you know, that's kind of cool that, again, the whole scale thing. So you can fit 4 of the figures in there. So that's the inside. Pretty cool about that. One thing I wanted to show you is you take off this compartment right here and you add the battery. So I already did that. And then you have these 2 buttons right here. And when you put the outside on, it's the same 2 buttons. So one, check this out. One is to ignite the engines, so that's pretty cool. Push it again to turn it off. And the second one is the gun turrets. So you have the turrets on the bottom, and I haven't attached the accessory of the top one here, but that's the sound of that. There's no other lights or any other kind of flashing or anything. Let me double check that with the guns. Yeah, there's nothing in the front or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now let me show you something I thought was I mean, this thing is retailed at $40, $45. So the fact that it lights up is cool, but it also has motion sensors. So for example, you turn on the engine, and then if you're gonna go up, makes a different sound. Down makes another side, left and right. So all of that's pretty cool. You can see it cycling through there. So actually, one thing when I was flipping it over, the top here came out, but let me show you how that works. So this top part came out. The way you take it out and in is you line it up here, so this is flush, so it doesn't pop out. Let me turn off the engine there. And then if you want to place somebody in there, obviously you got to take off this top here. You can see here there's a hole for your finger, and once you line it up square like that, you can just pop it out. I don't know if there's an easier way, but and there you go. The gunner would sit right in there, facing up, of course, or you know, on his back, facing up, and you just place him in there, and of course the turret goes right here, and that fits back in there, and if you turn it away from there, then it won't pop out. So just a little tip there that I already learned off the bat. So yeah, one thing, let's compare one more thing here. Between these two is the paint job. So I actually like the Action Fleet's paint job. I feel it's a little bit more beat up, more weathered look, as you can see kind of up here on the top, and up here it's not as weathered, or those dark spots or whatever, but that's very minor. One thing I do like, obviously the back has the light blue since it's not electronic, and this one has the white, but I do like the detail right here on the side. So on this Action Fleet one, not much detail, but on the new series here, they put in all of this little gears and just, you know, texture to the ship itself. Just like, you know what, does it have lights? No lights. Just like the previous I guess versions, it's all painted on the bottom, which is kind of cool. There's some that are just painted on the top, which I guess is for display. This turret does not move, so that's kind of lame. But let's see, the landing gear, you just pull this down. When you pull down one, they're connected. So same thing over here, you pull up here and they both open up, and there we go. So now you have the landing gear, and now it can be displayed properly. One thing comparison, this turret is pretty lame. It's just kind of just there. It's not it's supposed to be the 4. I mean, you can kind of see that they tried to put a little indent to show the 4 barrels, and same down here. Pretty lame. But it, you know, it is what it is. And of course, it has its own landing gear that you can pull out, pull down type thing. So pretty similar. I mean, again, the paint job underneath shows a lot of like corrosion or exhaust dust, if you will, on the back, which kind of makes sense. This one opened up. There is no classic table, as you know, but they did put the little storage. Hey, I didn't even know I had a loop down there. How cool is that? Anywho, so you have all of that. So that's kind of cool. One final thing I want to show you guys is the actual size of the characters. So let's hold on. So now that we held on for a second, I went and got these guys, and you can see those are the 4 characters. And then here is Han Solo of the previous version. Let me get the better lighting here. So there you go. They're not even an inch bigger. He is bigger. The scale is bigger. But this one, you can tell, is not as much detail. But I don't like how Chewbacca doesn't have painting on his bandolier. But you can see this one is bigger. So this does allow for the 4 of them to fit in the cockpit, which is pretty cool, as opposed to one just doing it in the old Action Fleet. Let me see if we could focus on him. The one in the old Action Fleet. So yeah, so that's interesting. It's only about a centimeter. Sorry about the lighting. It's only about a centimeter difference in size. So not that much difference, but you can tell it is bigger. But it is what it is. I mean, you're not really looking for too much detail when you get that small. And you can see here what I was talking about, the quad cannon, and you know, the radar is the traditional older version. So yeah, that's pretty much the main gist of this. One last thing I want to show that's upcoming on my next videos, as I mentioned, this is the scale of the Action Fleet, right? And this is the new Squadron scale. So you can see here, I'll have an in-depth review regarding the two, and right away you can see the size is a lot bigger, the Action Fleet, but ironically their Millennium Falcon is not bigger, which makes this set a lot more cooler, in my opinion. But we'll break this down, a little bit of the details and the different version X-Wings that there are, and the other figures and ships and vehicles that are coming into this set. And of course, if you have the time, make sure you check out the other Action Fleet so you can get a good read on them. And one also thing I wanted to mention is these come with stands, so that's kind of cool. A little bonus for display. As you can see, if you push that in good, that would be displayed. Of course, all the X-Wings, TIE Fighters, all those would be there as well, nice and displayed. And these don't come with that, or don't come with any kind of display or anything, any kind of you know, stand or anything like that. So there you have it. There was a closer look at the Millennium Falcon, such a classic, iconic ship. I want to say all over pop culture. I mean, people that don't know Star Wars should at least recognize it or see it throughout history and previews, artwork, whatever, wherever else it's out there. But this is probably one of the most iconic ships in Star Wars. So yeah, very impressed with it. Absolutely love the scale of it. As we did the comparison between the action fleet and this new, what is it again, Micro Galaxy Squadron series or line. Overall, I give it a A+ or an A, a solid A at least, because there's always pros and cons. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this unboxing, in-depth review on this guy, and stay tuned for more of the Micro Galaxy Squadron. It's still new to me. I forget this line, and I'm gonna compare, for example, the size of the previous X-Wing to the current X-Wing, and just a little bit more in detail. So if you are thinking of purchasing this line, you can see which one you like better, or what scales. If let's say you do have action fleet, for example, I believe this would be a great addition to the action fleet because of the scale is more on point. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed this review, and as always, stay collecting, my friends, and don't forget that it's not just Star Wars, it's other things like Terminator, Predator, Ninja Turtles, all types of collectibles. So I hope you enjoyed my review, and make sure you subscribe and click like on this video.